Chapter 5. Shadows on the Street. Dusk bled over Atlanta, a bruise of purple and gold spilling across the skyline, the city's pulse quickening as neon signs flickered to life. Zephyra Seraphina Locke wove through the bustling streets, her heels traded for soft boots, her tailored blazer swapped for a loose blouse that grazed her curvaceous frame. The coal locket swung against her chest, cool and steady, a counterpoint to the heat still simmering from the lecture hall's barbs. Just a product, objectified, their echoes clawing at her poise. She clutched Liam's vintage camera, its weight a lifeline, its leather strap rough against her palm, and let the chaos of buskers and vendors drown the noise in her head. Her ebony skin caught the fading light, her curly waves bouncing as she moved, almond-shaped eyes, dark chocolate, molten with restless fire, scanning the crowd. She needed this, an escape from Sasha's smirk, Maya's kiss, Dr. Hart's piercing question. What's your truth beyond the pose? The camera was her answer tonight, a lens to see beyond the spotlight she'd claimed at 28, a throne she'd fought for but now questioned. She paused by a busker, his weathered hands coaxing a mournful tune from a battered guitar, and lifted the camera. The shutter snapped, crisp and clear. The hands froze mid-strum, veins a map of survival, and her breath eased, her sensual artistry shifting to something rawer, truer. She drifted on, the city a canvas, vendors hawking steaming peanuts, their salt-sharp scent curling into the air. A child darting past, her grin a fleeting blaze of joy. Click, click. Each shot peeled back her doubt, her crimson lips softening into a half-smile as she lost herself in the frame. This wasn't posing, wasn't performing. It was seeing, capturing, claiming a narrative no one could steal. Sasha might mimic her arches, but she couldn't steal this eye, this soul. The coal locket swayed, a dark star against her blouse, and she felt its weight shift, less burden, more promise. A shadow fell across her lens, and she lowered it, her pulse ticking up. Liam Spencer stood there, rugged in his faded jacket, salt and pepper beard glinting under a street lamp, hazel eyes tracing her with a quiet that steadied her storm. "Caught you in the act," he said, his voice a low rumble, a balm to her shaken edges. She tilted her head, her drawl sultry but soft. "Spying on me, Spence?" He grinned, faint and knowing, and stepped closer, his leather scent mingling with the city's hum. Couldn't resist. He held out a leather strap, supple, worn, for the camera. A gift that brushed her fingers as she took it, their touch lingering, a quiet intimacy that warmed her skin. "You see what others miss," he said, his gaze dropping to the camera, then back to her eyes, seeing her again, beyond the satin, the silk, the poses. Her breath hitched, the memory of his hands on her neck, his lens on her soul, stirring a pull she'd buried. At 28, she'd built her independence brick by brick, but Liam's faith bolstered it, didn't break it, a paradox she couldn't untangle. She looped the strap over the camera, her fingers brushing his once more, and lifted it to snap him, his jaw sharp, his eyes warm, a man who'd once been hers. Click. "Got you too," she murmured, her crimson lips curving, and he chuckled, a sound that settled in her bones. They stood there, the street's clamour fading, dusk wrapping them in its bruise, and she wondered if this, his steady presence, her lens, could redefine her. Not a queen on a throne, but a woman with a vision, a truth she'd yet to name. Across the street, a stranger lingered, tall, shadowed, his face obscured by a cap, watching her through the crowd, unnoticed as the busker's tune wove on. Her focus stayed on Liam, on the camera's weight, on the shots she'd claimed, but the stranger's gaze prickled her skin, a whisper of something she didn't yet see. She turned back to Liam, her drawl teasing. "Keep up, Spence. I'm just getting started." He nodded, hazel eyes glinting, And they walked on, the coal locket swaying, its promise heavier now, a shadow trailing just out of frame.